A long week in Vegas has come down to this final table. Two players going all in at the Bank of Hope LPGA match play from Shadow Creek. It's the 7th match of the week for these two young finalists, each looking for a second LPGA win. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel. This is Japan's Ayaka Furue to win the second.
She makes so many clutch putts like this morning in the semifinal match. Continues here this afternoon.
But on the next hole, Thailand's Patrianana Rukarn to tie the match. All right, so Anana Rukarn, who made 8 birdies this morning in a semifinal victory over Lynn Grant, tied with Ayaka Furue as they head to the 5th with a title hanging in the balance. NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the championship match of the Bank of Hope LPGA Match Play presented by MGM Rewards. Another hot, steamy week here, not far from the famed Vegas Strip, is buzzing as it always is, all hours of the day. And about 15 miles to the north, this bucolic scene here at Shadow Creek opened a little more than 30 years ago. A bit mystical, magical setting here. Almost looks like a bit of a mirage in the desert. Tom Fazio design. A couple of LPGA players joined on the other 9 by 4 players from the NFL, including Las Vegas Raiders great Devontae Adams there in the green, a Heisman Trophy winner Mark Ingram there, good junior player growing up in Michigan. That's the trophy they're playing for. Morgan and I are joined by Tom Abbott, and on the course today for us, a couple of great match play players in their own right, like Morgan, Kay Cockrell, and Angela Stanford. Out to the 5th we go, where we hear from Tom Abbott.
And an Rukarn's tee shot to the par 3.
Tom, that's an 8-iron on its way. Pretty sensible shot right there, just left of the flag.
Good job there.
Yep. And we're putting down the green, the golf course. It's just fabulous. I think this is the best condition golf course you'll find maybe anywhere in the world, to be honest. And I was talking to a couple of the green staff here earlier, and I said, is it ever in bad shape? And they went, no, of course not.
Shadow Creek.
It's always great. They do a few weeks of maintenance during the year, but it doesn't get a huge amount of play. It's a pretty exclusive place. It is always pristine. Now, Furue.
This hole's playing 137 today. This is a 9-iron for Furue. You know, I noticed in the Sunday match this morning, she was hitting less club than Leona most of the day.
That come up short. And maybe flirting with that bunker. You can see the big bunker at the front of the green. But while we have a moment, let's head up to the booth with Morgan and Grant.
Tom, thank you, and welcome to this championship match of the Bank of Hope LPGA Match Play. Morgan, a long grind of a week crescendos today as we watch these two players who have survived and advanced to this point. What's going to be the biggest challenge for them now playing a 7th match in 5 days, do you think?
It's a long week. It's hot. Match play is very emotionally draining, as well as the physical tests that is out there. This golf course is tough, so you really have to focus. You cannot lose your focus for one moment out there. I think it's interesting. Padre said that she hasn't played a lot of 36-hole rounds of golf. She's not used to that. Yesterday said her body got numb on about the 5th or 6th hole, which is where she is right now in the afternoon match. She was able to hold on to win, but it will be interesting to see how she manages the second day of 2 matches for her. And Ayaka played in this event last year, made it all the way to the finals. She knows what to expect, but she hasn't made it to the 18th tee so far this week.
The whole week.
So we'll see whether this match goes the distance. It'll be the first time that Ayaka has seen the 18th hole this week. She has played some tremendous golf.
Among the things at stake is the chance possibly for Anana Rukarn to be able to skip a 36-hole day in a couple of weeks. She is not into the U.S. Women's Open. She would be if she wins here.
It has a little feel of deja vu. Last year, the same with Eunhee Ji. She had not yet qualified for the U.S. Women's Open, went on to win this week and didn't have to worry about it. That might be in the back of Padri's mind, but I think winning is number one.
And she, like Eunhee Ji, the 36th seed. Numbers matter in Vegas, they tell me, supposedly. So we'll see what happens here on a very hot day here at Shadow Creek with a couple of players looking for a second victory. 23-year-old players. Padri's been out here a couple of years. Ayaka just in her second year on the LPGA Tour, but each have won. And each did it in rather dramatic fashion, with Anana Rukarn having won a playoff in Northern Ireland a couple of years ago, and Ayaka building on what she did here, going on to win with a huge Sunday in Scotland.
And the only similarities between the golf courses that they both won on in across the pond would be the firmness.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's very dramatically different, completely different weather conditions. But the firmness of a links course would be similar to what we're seeing here this week, Tom, on these golf courses.
Yeah.
It's so firm here.
And after I said this is the best condition golf course I've ever seen, I've had a few texts from tournament directors and directors of golf around the world questioning my decisions. But
this is a good one.
This is a very good one,
spectacular.
as are your courses around the world, folks who text me. Now, just short of the green here for Ayaka.
Yeah, the grass was kind of growing back into her, so that was kind of and she was all uphill.
Yeah, that was a mistake there, not giving it a better go. She's got work to do to save par. Jari has a fairly long birdie putt. Devontae Adams, he's a star here in Las Vegas. This is a stroke play match. They're going to go all the way through to the 18th.
Oh!
Oh dear. I think he was unhappy with that tee shot before he struck the ball.
False start.
They are playing a scramble.
They are playing a scramble, yes. And double bogey's your friend, so they can't take more than a double bogey. 13's a tough hole. He's made it a bit tougher there with that tee shot. Back over to the championship match. And Pujari back down the green. A bit of pace in this one, Kay.
Definitely. It's not a massive slope from back to front, but it's enough where this putt is going to gather speed as it goes along. So essentially 2 opportunities to win this hole. If she can make this birdie for a 2 outright, or if Ayaka should not make her par putt. I think her first and foremost here is just to try to drip it down into the front right edge. This should have a little bit of right to left movement. Really good for speed. Yeah, that was right on line, but she had to be somewhat tentative with that putt.
That club was nearly flawless for her this morning, and another beautiful stroke right there.
Now Furue to tie the hole.
Yeah, we've talked about her putting all day and how good it's been, but this one's outside of that range that she was making most of them all day. But she saw the tail end, Padri's, and she should have a pretty good idea of what this is doing, and it's a little uphill, so she can put a good roll on it.
Give it enough. Did she give it enough? Oh, she did, but it just misses. So that's going to be a lead for Pujari, and they will scamper over to the tee at number 6. We'll take a quick break. It's the championship match here at the Bank of Hope LPGA Match Play.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Bank of Hope. We are bankers, experts, neighbors. By Skechers Go Golf. comfort-driven styles worn by Brooke Henderson. And by CME Group, where risk meets opportunity. Now with the one-up lead, Padre and Anarukar on the tee at 6.
Long, challenging dog leg right. 250 to clear the bunker. This going right.
Oh, catches tree.
Okay, there it is. Just outside the shade. Is that out of bounds? Check that. Okay, as you've heard, Kay Cockrell following Padre, and Ayaka Furue is being trailed by Angela Stanford.
And she needs to make a good swing here. She's already made a couple of errant swings early on. Just needs to get back on track. This one looks good.
I do want to read off of the notice to the players, the local rule sheet. It says the out of bounds is beyond the outside edge of the cart path right of number 6 fairway, which Padre is well beyond that.
Yeah. I don't know if she realizes it at this point.
She may not look like she's hitting a provisional.
All right, while they check that out, let's look at our bracket breakdown presented by Bank of Hope. And you go back to Friday, group play. We had a playoff, and Padre, from a divot hole, gouged it out against Karis Davidson, who had beaten her earlier in the day. And what a shot this was.
That could have gone anywhere. As you can see, there's a lot of trouble surrounding this first green, and she would go on to 2-putt from there.
So because of group play, you can actually lose a match and make it to the weekend, as she did. Tough 14th in the quarterfinals against in her quarterfinal match. This was at the 14th against Carlota Segunda, and she would win it 3-2. And then at that same 14th, different hole location, she had 2 putts to beat Lynn Grant on this hole.
These are 2 of the only birdies I remember seeing on 14 all week. It's been such a hard hole. Tough to get it close, tough to putt.
And a victory over the 22nd ranked player in the world, Lynn Grant of Sweden. So Anana Rukar, even with the loss on Friday, is into the championship match. Ayaka Furue, this was back on Thursday against Stacey Lewis at the 16th. And she takes down the Solheim Cup captain and the Solheim Cup stalwart as a player, Stacey Lewis, with a convincing 4-2 victory. And then in the quarterfinals against Celine Boutier, she had not led the entire match, Morgan, until this putt at 16. That gave her a 1-up lead. She would win the 17th and knock out Boutier, the highest ranked player in the field at number 11 in the world. That moved her to the morning semifinal against another tough match play player, Leona Maguire. This was Ayaka at the 9th.
She's played the bounces beautifully around this week. Not the highest ball flight with her irons, but has managed the golf course better than just about anybody.
And that would lead to a conceded eagle, and for Ayaka, a 2-1 victory over Leona Maguire to advance to the championship match for the 2nd consecutive year. It's our bracket breakdown brought to you by Bank of Hope. All right, so Anana Rukar right of the cart path, and you can see the out-of-bounds stake.
Okay, Rob Patrick, can we get you back to the seat?
You can just take it, bud, and I'll wait for you.
Do you want to do that? Sure.
Yeah.
She's going to get that right back to the tee.
Yeah, she really had no idea it was out of bounds, and is able to get a ride back to the tee with Rose Official. And obviously she pushed it right, but Morgan, the wind's blowing left, right, so it exaggerated it, and then the cart path doesn't help matters either.
Can you go around?
This was what we would call the longest walk in golf. Made a little bit shorter when you get a cart ride back there, but mentally it's tough.
But here's the difference: stroke play and match play. You know, this could be a huge number on your card in a stroke play event. Worst case here, you lose 1 hole and you're tied.
And the reason that's out of bounds is because it's somebody's home. There are 2 houses inside the gates at Shadow Creek, and that's one of them. The other one was Steve Wynn's old house, which is right of the 9th hole as the championship plays. But that is actually a private residence inside the gates, which is the reason it's out of bounds. There aren't many out of bounds stakes at Shadow Creek.
Not much is out of bounds in Vegas. Now Ayaka will just wait. And how about the run she's on and the players that she has beaten, Morgan? You look at Ayaka, the last 5 players she has beaten this week, LPGA winners, all of them, including Leona Maguire this morning.
She's had a tough draw, but I mean, just think back to her here last year. She's so comfortable on this golf course, so solid, especially with her putts. The putts have holes.
Boy, so many, yes. And we were looking at this and noting, and I was saying as we're glancing at this before the broadcast, the last 3 players she's beaten had not lost a match when she played them. And you said it sounds funny because normally you think of match play, well, of course they had lost, they wouldn't still be in it. But in group play, as we've learned from Anana Rukarn, you can lose a match and still get to the weekend. As Anana Rukarn goes back to the tee for her 3rd shot.
I'm going to put money down on this that it's going to be center, left center, maybe even a left rough.
I mean, we have a good view here, Kay, from this camera angle. Look at how far right that cart path is and how far she missed that tee ball to the right.
Yeah, she hit in the top of the trees. You guys talked about her hitting in the top of the pine trees and just got a bad ricochet that way to the right. Well, that was a beast of a drive there.
That'll be her 4th coming up whenever it comes to rest. And Ayaka's going to be hitting her 2nd. This has been where we've seen, Angela, it's where we've seen Ayaka most of the week. Down the middle, on the green, and making some clutch putts.
Yeah, and honestly, the first few holes, I don't know if she's just...
Yeah, absolutely. The line's just wrong, so the thing.
She just needs to get back out here and get back into a rhythm. Like I said, a couple of errant shots to start this round, but that was a great tee ball, and she has 165. She's going with a 9-iron because I think she's really just trying to cover the front of the screen, maybe hope for a big bounce. 142 to the front.
A little late there. Gonna get away with it.
Good shot.
Beautiful. Good bounce.
Nice shot.
She looked a little bit like the club was stuck a touch behind her on the downswing.
If this doesn't go in,
All the way down there up
for Anana Rukarn, this hole could be conceded. We won a U.S. Amateur. It's a long week, and every match is a bit of its own entity, isn't it? You don't have necessarily a lot of carryover, do you?
Start from square one. Every match, you stand on the first tee tied with your opponent, a new opponent, and in that situation, you have to beat everybody in order to win. And every hole is its own match, even within itself.
Morgan, I agree with you with that, but I'll also add, and maybe you felt the same way when you were in the process of winning your USAM. Your momentum and your confidence keeps growing with each match you win, and momentum and confidence is so much in this game, particularly with match play.
Definitely in match play, it goes back and forth in every direction. How many times during a match? But we're in a game where you seldom win.
Because we are.
You do gain confidence from winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, each day you go home and you say, I won today.
Again, this is a 4th shot coming up. Tee shot out of bounds.
93.
for Anana Rukarn.
93?
97.
97?
97. You'll be out.
straight at the front, 106 to the hole. So together they've come up with trying to land this 97. And shot, it becomes even tougher when you can see your opponent's ball right up there. Looks really close to the hole.
In 2.
Yes. But you never know what can happen. Going to try her best to see if she can hold this out. Maybe a couple opportunities to do so as it now comes backwards. Yeah, I think we're going to see a concession very soon.
It's going to go back off the front of the green. Wow. That shows the severity of the 6th green right here. Wow.
And so this match is about to be tied again. Ayaka Furue is going to win the 6th and tie it up. It was a concession at the 6th, and Ayaka Furue ties the match up with Patriana Rukarn, whose tee shot sailed out of bounds at the 6th. Conceded birdie, and off they go to 7.
They moved the tee up at the 7th to the forward tee they've been using, which is further to the right, so it changes the angle, obviously lessens the yardage as well. So players have been a little tighter down the left side off this tee. Angela?
Yes, you're right, Tom. It did change the angle. Go down the left center of the fairway, and there's also a downslope that the ball will catch, and it will ricochet it forward.
Seems to like that one. Yeah. You noticed a bit of extra length out there for Furue, Angela.
Yeah, I mean, she's, you know, not very tall. You just wouldn't expect somebody of her stature to hit it so far, but I've been really impressed with how solid she's hit it, how far she's hitting it, and how she's controlling it. She has this beautiful little draw that she hits.
Now, Pajari.
At least she hit a good second tee shot on the last hole, and hopefully can quickly erase the push right. A little breeze starting to pick up more intensely in the last couple holes, hurting out of the right.
On the way to her win in Northern Ireland, she had a hiccup on the 6th hole on Sunday and said she used short-term memory to erase that and move on. She's going to need to do that again right here.
She's done it, taking it over the edge of the dog leg. Beautiful. That was an aggressive line, and she pulled it out.
That sounded solid. It's still short. Ayaka Furue. That's an example of what Angela was talking about with Furue's length.
Well, we have a couple of moments we want to visit with Kevin S. Kim, the chairman, president, and CEO of Bank of Hope. Kevin, it's great to see you again. Another great year of the Bank of Hope LPGA match play. Tell us how your week has gone.
Well, thank you, Grant. It's been a wonderful and exciting week here in Las Vegas for our guests, and I'm sure for all the LPGA fans as well. So much more exciting because the competition is at Shadow Creek, such an incredibly beautiful but very, very challenging golf course. As you know, match play is uniquely entertaining. You cannot take anything for granted. And if you see the results of the round-robin tournaments for the first 3 days and the subsequent elimination matches, many unexpected underdog players have advanced to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, and so on. So our guests here have certainly enjoyed very entertaining dramas on the field, and I'm sure we will definitely strengthen our relationships with our customers as their bankers, experts, and neighbors. And Bank of Hope is really pleased to have inaugurated and title sponsored this event for the past 3 years.
Tell us a little bit about why this partnership has been important to Bank of Hope.
Well, Grant, everyone knows that LPGA is the premier women's professional sports organization today in the world. But back in the 1950s, when it was first founded by 13 professional women, it was just a small organization. Like the LPGA, Bank of Hope was founded by some visionaries who saw the financial needs of growing immigrant communities back in the 1980s. And today, we are one of the leading Asian American banks in the country. So at Bank of Hope, we are really committed to the causes of corporate social responsibilities, such as diversity, equity, inclusion, and women's empowerment. And our customers love golf, and they love LPGA, so it is such a natural fit between Bank of Hope and LPGA. So we greatly value the partnership with the LPGA, and we take great pride in supporting female professional sports.
Well, your support of the LPGA has been significant. Kevin S. Kim, the chairman, president, and CEO of Bank of Hope. Great to see you again. Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Grant.
And Ms. Kim makes a good point there. This is really an exclusive place to come and watch golf, you know, and their clients have been up close with the players in a
Yes.
beautiful environment. They don't sell many tickets here. A lot of invited guests and VIPs. And if you get the chance to come and watch, I think those that have been out here really enjoyed it.
Like 5 on again, right up the flag.
I like it.
What's the wind doing?
The wind is 2 o'clock.
Doesn't feel like it's hurting, huh?
Just, I think it's coming from 3 lines, so it's kind of like blocking a little bit. It's not crosswind that into.
Got our Top Tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
Yards, Tom, to the front of the green, 223 to the hole. She's pulled out her 4 hybrid. I like that, a little more lofted. When she's coming off a slight downhill lie, just by setting up, it's going to de-loft that 4 hybrid a little bit. She's looking to land at probably 5 to 10 paces on the front right of the green.
What line do you like here, Kay? We're looking at it from behind.
I like over the first bunker on the right.
Green side.
The wind keeps kind of picking up and dying down. Maybe going with a little bit more club now. I would guess that's the 3 hybrid she's just changed to. Yeah, the wind hurting off the right. She wants to ensure this clears the bunker if she hits it well. That's not going to be the easiest up and down from there.
Did it reach the bunker?
I can't tell from here if it got snagged up in the rough. It's either in the rough right before the bunker or just in the bunker.
Maybe a little bit of indecision there. Didn't help. Switching clubs. Wasn't comfortable. Now, Furue.
She has 216 to the hole location, 193 to the front. This is her 3-wood. It's kind of on a downslope. And these are tough lies to hit 3-woods off of. She has to really make sure she stays moving down with the slope.
Looks like she's aiming right at it.
The wind really moved that. Oh, wow. In the bunker and hopped out into the grass.
I believe that downslope really affected both of those players. Not quite getting it up to the upslope where they could launch it with such a long club.
All tied up here in the final of the Bank of Hope LPGA match play. Back on the 7th hole here at Shadow Creek in this championship match of the Bank of Hope LPGA match play between Pujari Ananarukan and Ayaka Furue. And this one doesn't look particularly easy here, Kay, for Pujari.
No, but compared to her opponent, who is buried, virtually buried in the face, the grassy face of the bunker, this is a much easier shot, and she has a good lie. Just has to pull off a nice flop shot. Oh yeah, lofted that way up in the air.
Oh,
really gorgeous. Wow. Oh, she looks like she's done that many, many times.
Didn't she hit a beautiful one on, was it the third hole? Fourth hole. Third hole, I think. Okay, you were telling us to get up and down to win that hole.
She did. She did. And she played the back slope on that hole really well. So she's really being very comfortable around these greens, and I think getting a good sense of how to play these different shots.
That's the lie of Furue. Angela, have you had a chance to get in there and have a look?
I glanced at it. They asked the rules official if it was embedded, and he said no.
What do you think? Yeah, I wonder
you were saying it bounced out of the bunker, weren't you?
I wonder if you play this like a bunker shot, whether it just goes like straight up in the air, because I don't think it's as steep like that. I think it might go forward a little bit if you just just be careful, you don't hurt yourself. But just like a kind of punch shot, and just see if it can just. There's enough that it might climb up. It might go back in the bunker, but it might just go forward.
And then go to light one. Go to light.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty close. We're trying to get it up and down. I mean, don't go too far away from the pin. It should just, if it just pops up high, it might just land and come round to the left. You're quite hard without hurting yourself, and kind of open the face and see if it'll just pop up.
I thought she had a chance to do what Mackie's telling her to do, just pop it straight up in the air. There's a little bit of a downslope on the green right in front of her. Very unlucky that bounced out of this bunker.
It's hard from our angle to tell just how severe this is on the top part of the bunker. That was really well done.
Yeah, that was very good. And she trusted Mikey to do it.
Yeah. And you were saying, the opponent's in there close. You got to give it a go to try and give yourself a chance to halve the hole.
Tom, I think I'd trust a guy with that accent on how to hit shots like that around the green from crazy bunkers.
The Scottish brogue.
She keeps her lower body really still. Awkward stance. Just tremendous eye-hand coordination. And really, really well done from that lie. It's hard for the ball to end up there, to come to rest there. It's such a severe spot on the top side of that bunker.
Just get a sense that this could be a match that goes a long way. Think about the other two finals. It's a 2-1 win for Ali Ewing and a 3-2 win for Eun-hee Ji. These two seem very well matched in the early stages. Let's take a look at insights by KPMG for Ayaka Furue with putting, and that's pretty good. All of them inside top 10 and number 1 and 10 feet. And that one misses. It might be the first one I've seen a miss from that kind of range.
Yeah, that one was kind of tricky. That could have, talk about subtleties out here. That one, there were two different slopes kind of working in the screen right there, and honestly, I wasn't going to tell you what I thought because it could have gone either way.
Well, we're going to have to press you on those, I think, going forward, Angela.
No, I'll do my best.
Yeah. Always easier when the shot was a moment ago. Now, for Jari, this to win the hole.
She's been rock solid on these short putts, whether they're for birdie or for par, as witnessed by her ability to make 8 birdies in 14 holes in the morning match against Lynn Grant. Let's see if she can just stay really rock solid, steady over this short one like she has most of the day.
Yeah. Get up and down. Birdie for Pujari, and it
Return
gives her a
four.
1-up lead through 7
Furue 5.
in this final.
Another root card, 1 up.
At the par 3 8th, again 1 up, Pujari and Anarukarn.
Needs to carry it 148 to carry the false front. Taking aim at the right front of this green.
She didn't like it, but she's going to get away with it. It might even go in.
That's a good miss there, Morgan, if she didn't like it.
Yeah, this whole location today is in a little bit of a bowl, so there is room for error, just not a lot of it.
Furue next.
This is an 8-iron. I would be looking at the right side of the green also. For the most part, the wind has been moving the ball right to left here. It's just kind of hanging out there. Oh, wow.
Might come back with a false front, but still more fortunate to end up there than where she could have been up in that rough.
Could be a 2-up lead for Anana Rukarn. Which is the bigger challenge, the mental or the physical at this point?
Both, because the second you lose it mentally, the physical is gone as well. So it's both. It's being focused, committing to the shots, and
get it out of the green,
as well as being able to execute them.
These guys were a little fresher. The NFL players, running backs against the wide receivers. This is Austin Eckler, Los Angeles Chargers.
Appreciate it. There we go. Yeah. Tell me what you did, bro.
It's pretty sporty.
They were having a great time on the range. Just fun being out here.
Devontae Adams of the Las Vegas Raiders. Terry McLaurin of the Washington Commanders against the running backs, Mark Ingram and Austin Eckler. With Anana Rukarn in there close for birdie, this is Ayaka Budaway.
Up the slope.
I think she had to make that one, and she nearly did. What a good roll.
Let's take a moment to tell you about LPGA USGA Girls Golf. They're on a mission to change the face of the game. You can join the movement and inspire the next generation of LPGA Tour players and help make little girls' big dreams come true. Go to girlsgolf.org. A couple of 23-year-olds in this championship match. Budaway turned 23 yesterday. Anana Rukarn will turn 24 on Tuesday. Oh my, now look at this.
Wow. It didn't get as much of a power lip out as I thought it might. It's a severe area of the 8th green. Just powered it through the break, though.
I wonder if that's one that you make Wednesday without even thinking about it.
That is just kind of can really throw you for a little bit of a loop, Morgan. I mean, she's got to settle herself, and hopefully her short-term memory is really short. Delete it. It happened, and got to deal with this now. 2.5 close to 3-footer for par. It's almost the same length as her birdie putt.
It's the worst thing about missing a short putt, Kay, is when you have the same or longer coming back.
And that's what happens on these extra fast greens. You miss, and you're going to deal with a healthy comebacker.
Curls in, not to mention a 4th match in the span of about 36 hours. Not even that.
Well, I think back to what she said yesterday after her second match, where she said her body started to go numb on the 5th or 6th hole, and maybe just a little bit out of sorts here, because that was very uncharacteristic from what we've seen from her, especially with the flat stick today.
There was a moment that Leona Maguire this morning at this 8th hole against Ayaka Furue had a putt to go up 3, missed it. Furue would come back. In fact, a couple of times Furue came from at least 2 holes back to win a match.
She's not afraid of playing from behind. Just stays patient, plays her own game, and chips away at it.
Yeah, did that against Boudier last night.
It's that fast.
Quarterfinals. We're back to the NFL players, Tom, here at the 15th.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin had a good second shot in here, but it just charged through. I think he was a bit unfortunate. He was on the bank on the left side of the hole, and I thought he hit a very nice shot, but it just released to here. It's very quick back down the screen. They are playing a scramble, so they'll have another go.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
You see that?
They can't even believe how fast it is. Maybe a little showcase of what we are going to come to see here in an hour or so.
Now, Devontae Adams hopefully has learned something from that. He plays a bit of golf here, plays about 3 times a week, I'm told. Danielle Kang plays out here as well, and these two will occasionally play together. That's going to be good. It's going to go by. Now it just needs to put the brakes on. Amazing how fast that is.
If she would have stayed on the green, it probably would have rolled back halfway.
Got the local caddies.
Yeah, when you come to Shadow Creek, you know, you have to take a caddy, and they're very well respected, these caddies. Some characters, as you would expect, and they all have their nicknames, all their names, on their caddy bibs. Any significance to the colors that he's wearing?
It makes me nervous as a lifelong Raiders fan. I don't like seeing him in his former color, green with the Packers, or the color that his old quarterback Aaron Rodgers with the Packers is now in with the Jets. So this is life as a Raiders fan these days.
Back to the tee at the 9th. Par 5, reachable in 2. Good risk reward hole. This is actually the 18th hole for regular play, but they switched it around because tournament officials felt like this was a hole that should feature more often, a good match play hole, so put it in the middle of the round, and we'll see it in every match. Obviously, if it was the 18th hole, there'd be a lot of matches that wouldn't get here. There you go. That's a good look from behind. What do you think here, Kay?
Wind has picked up considerably, definitely from this morning, and it's helping. So a good solid tee shot down the left center ought to be able to stay in the fairway. It's very easy because this fairway is tilted left to right for the balls to end up in the right rough. Yeah, that was boy, these fairways, we've talked about it, are so firm, and they're getting firmer and firmer. If you can hit the fairway, you get at least 50+ yards of roll.
Yeah, the golf course firm and fast, which is a testament to the great work that they do here at Shadow Creek in these elements. It's roasting hot. You'd think they would be watering the golf course, making it soft, but they make it firm and fast. Now, Furue.
She had a beautiful drive this morning. The wind is kicking up.
Those have been a couple of tired swings in the last couple holes we've seen from Ayaka. That's going to be really tough off the downslope, out of the rough. We'll have to see if she's going to give this a go with Padre in perfect position. That might force her hand.
It's the par putt here. Mark Ingram hit a really good third shot. He was about 100 yards away, and he hit it to here.
He was a good junior player.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Growing up in Michigan.
Yeah, Mark. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Look at the athleticism.
Yeah, I was watching him on the driving range warming up. He's got some power, too. I mean, he can move the ball. He's got a
good golf swing. Yeah. So they're having a good time out there, raising money for charity. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Are you okay with that? You reckon you can get that one too?
Furue going to lay it up here?
Yeah.
No,
Or is she going to go for it?
She has a wood in her hand. That's her 6 hybrid. She has 167 to the front of the screen. The lie's not bad. The problem is it's on a down slope. I think she had a couple different options here, but I'm thinking she's probably just trying to get it into that. The right side of that back bunker wouldn't be bad.
See if it carries. Oh, it does.
That was a tremendous shot.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough. I thought she was maybe trying to get it into one of the bunkers, or honestly, it would have been worth laying out.
She played it safe. Well, a bit more room to carry it on the right. The carry isn't as long, but there you go. Now they do have some wildlife here. Are they Canada geese? Is that what they are? The little ducklings, goslings.
It's time for a swim, Tom.
Yeah,
but not for
Not
for Podgery.
Play a 35
Don't want to hit one thin, do you? That'd be,
No. 27 shot to the middle of the big bunker.
27?
To the middle of the big bunker. Like where the pin was yesterday. That's the shot that I like. I don't know what you
It's
see.
helping, right?
It's helping, yes.
Pitching should get to 130 easily, no?
Correct. You just need to see.
The base stake?
I like it.
You could not have placed this ball down in a better spot. I mean, she has a level lie. Ball almost feels like it might be a titch on the up slope. Wind is helping, maybe a little left to right helping. 150 to the hole, needs to carry this 137 on the line of the flag stick to carry and ensure she hits the green.
big drive, 480-yard hole. The flag at the back, she's got 150 yards in, so you're talking close to 350 off the tee.
Bailing out right. Oh no. That's not going to be the easiest up and in from there.
Both players with work to do.
She may get a drop depending on her stance there. Looks like there's a sprinkler head. She could be able to drop that closer to the green.
About a third of the way through the LPGA season now. Let's take a look at the winners. Brooke Henderson winning in Florida to begin the year. Lilia Vu, what a season it's been for Lilia Vu. You can see 2 wins. The Chevron Championship was the breakthrough win in a major for Lilia Vu, having had such a great start to the year. Jin Young Ko is back, having won the Cognizant Founders Cup and then earlier in the season in Singapore. So plenty of storylines going into next week. The LPGA Tour heads to Liberty National. How about the run of golf courses that the LPGA is playing? Played TPC Harding Park a few weeks ago. Wilshire Country Club before that. We're here at Shadow Creek. Then we go to Liberty National. Baltus Roll's coming up.
Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach. Walton Heath.
Walton Heath. How is it looking, by the way?
It's looking very good. We had the Surrey Amateur there today. Harry Crockett won, I believe, for the 2nd year in a row.
The Surrey Amateur.
The Surrey Amateur.
Yeah.
And played on the new course, which 2 of those holes will be used during the AIG Women's Open. So
Tom's
things are
home
going
club.
well. Yeah, we're looking forward to hosting that major championship just outside of London. It's going to be hopefully a great celebration of women's golf. And let's not forget late in the year the Pelican down in Florida, in the Tampa area, Bel Air, Florida. That's a beautiful golf course. So what does Furue face here with her 3rd?
You know, Tom, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. She has a lot more room, and the surface is a lot flatter than I thought it was. About 30 yards for the pitch shot. Ball's sitting down a touch, but the thing I've learned watching Furue last day is that she prefers the higher shot, the higher, softer flop shot. I haven't necessarily seen her hit like a bump and run yet, so I feel like she's going to be real comfortable with this, adding some loft, carrying it far enough to cover this bunker in front of her, and letting it release.
This is one of her very best stats, and she's 9th in scrambling on tour, which I think is why she's done so well around this golf course, because these greens are so difficult to hit that everybody is missing greens.
That sounded a little heavy. I'm not sure she caught that the way she wanted to.
Good opening here for Pajari, who's already one up in the match.
And sort of the same recalculation on my part as Angela referred to. This is not as extreme as I first thought. I thought she was going to be much higher, being down to more extreme downhill. It's still going to be fast, and she has right to left break to deal with, but this is manageable. And that sprinkler head might be in her way, but she's not going to take a drop because she has a really nice lie.
Interesting to watch this, Kay, to see if she chips this down to a few feet after missing that putt on the last hole.
We've talked about how precise you need to be, Morgan, and then you throw this now pretty close to 15 miles an hour of wind into the mix, and it just exaggerates everything.
It was very calm out there this morning, not much wind to speak of, but it's definitely picked up this afternoon.
Boy, she got that to sit down so softly. I would have guessed she would have never left that short of the hole.
So 2 birdie putts to come. If you're just joining us, it's Pajari Ananarukan, Ayaka Furue here in the final of the Bank of Hope LPGA Match Play presented by MGM Rewards, a 3rd year that this event has been played here at Shadow Creek, North Las Vegas. Just about 25 minutes or so from the famed Las Vegas Strip, which has been buzzing this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Very, very busy. Furue now for birdie.
I think it's a great idea to keep the flagstick in, even though it is a little windy, but she's at the very end of the putt. You can see the shadows.
That's going to be a 5. And Pajari will have a chance to take a 2-up lead at the turn.
Morgan, it's at this point in the game, it can be tempting to let your mind wander to what could happen and what you potentially could win. But I think match play helps a lot for you to not futurize too much, and it really brings you back to the moment, to the shot, the hole. And Pajari has been so patient. She has just reiterated how patient she has been this week, and that's her #1 goal, and she has to be patient with this putt. She would have liked to have gotten that chip shot a lot closer, but she didn't. So deal with what she has at hand here, a little right to left breaking birdie putt.
We talked about it the other day, Kay, that match play both is good to help you forget what's happened in the past, because all that you can control is right here, right now. Here, I have this putt to win this hole. I'm not going to think about the fact that I just missed one on the last hole, and I'm not going to worry about winning the golf tournament. I just need to get this in the hole.
No.
Oh, she made everything this morning, didn't she? And it's not so this afternoon.
It's been a long week.
Remains 1 up.
And These two players battling away in close to 100-degree heat.
The championship match of the third playing of this Bank of Hope LPGA match play. These two players have made the turn. Pajari Nanarukarn, the 23-year-old, soon to be 24-year-old from Thailand, leading it 1-up. It could be even better. She tees it up.
She should be 3-up. Ayaka Furue should be grateful that she received a couple of gifts from Pajari, and Pajari has not got to lose, has to keep the faith that she still has the lead, and just stripes a driver there. It's going to release through to the rough, but that was belted.
Whole location on the front, not the end of the world to be in the rough here, but we have seen just how difficult it is to control the ball when you're not in the fairway. But yes, Pajari could be very well in control of this match right now, even hitting one out of bounds on the 6th.
Each of these players has rallied on the back nine from a deficit to win a match this week. And it is a 1-up lead for Nanarukarn. But Ayaka Furue, who last night in the quarterfinals, trailing Celine Boutier, was able to come back and win 16 and 17, won the 14th as well. And Morgan, as we think about Ayaka, let's go back to Thursday and what happened with her in a match against Stacey Lewis. It was a tremendous sporting act by Ayaka, something she didn't have to do but felt compelled to do.
Yeah, Stacey had asked her to move her mark on the 2nd hole, and she forgot to move it back, but she didn't realize it until 2 holes later when she was on the 4th.
And Stacey didn't realize it either.
And Stacey didn't notice it, and so she let Stacey know, said, hey, I forgot to move my mark back, went to the officials. The officials said, well, we can't go back and change what happened on the 2nd hole. And Ayaka said, well, I'm going to concede the 5th hole to you, Stacey. And I talked to Mikey Scott, her caddy, about it. He said that was the only option. That was the only thing that Ayaka was ever going to think about doing. And she didn't have to do that. That was tremendous sportsmanship. And Stacey was the one who told me that story, in just being impressed by Ayaka and the way she handled that situation.
So a class act and an incredible performance for a 2nd consecutive year in a format that she didn't play a lot. A little bit in Japan as a junior, some match play, but she has certainly taken to it here in Vegas.
Very comfortable in the heat, very comfortable on this golf course, and very comfortable in match play. And that's the reason why she's been in the finals 2 years in a row.
She hits it straight. She makes a lot of putts throughout the year. And when you have a firm, fast golf course as this has been, an extra roll, she has been tough to beat. We're at the 16th. Our NFL players continue. This is Mark Ingram at the 16th. His dad, Mark Ingram, also an NFL player, went to Michigan State. Mark Jr. grew up the 2nd. He won the Heisman Trophy at Alabama. He grew up going to the old Buick Open there in Flint, Michigan. Just to go out and watch Tiger.
Hey, that's good.
I used to spend my summers in Michigan when I was learning to play golf, and I went out to watch I believe the Senior Players Championship.
Right?
When it
Dearborn, right?
Yeah. Summer golf in Michigan. It's tough to beat.
Yeah, we'll be there not too
Okay, what you guys get on that?
We're 5.
The Meyer LPGA Classic in 3 weeks' time. It'll be Father's Day weekend, and that'll be the same weekend as the Men's U.S. Open. It will be at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, another match play event. That'll be in Midland, Michigan. We've got the foursomes and 4-ball. It's not match play, it's team. I guess would be a better way of saying it. Stroke play, but a different format. It's been a long week for the announcers as well. Our seventh match. Maybe I need to grab my umbrella. All right, this was last summer, and this was just a couple of months after this event. And Ayaka Furue shot 62 on Sunday. She came from behind to beat Celine Boutier. And it was especially emotional because it was the first victory for her Scottish caddy, Mikey Scott, in his home country. And there is Mikey. His brother Johnny Scott, longtime caddy out here. Their mom, Morag, just passed away a couple of months ago. He had to take a little time off. And these are a couple of good lads. Been out here a long time.
It's just small hill.
Second shot here for Furue.
I think because it's a 9, I think you can hit this. Yeah. It's only a tiny bit of help.
She's looking at 155 to the hole location. The flag's only on 11 paces. I heard the caddy say a little help. This is a 9-iron. Just looking to land it right around the front of the green.
That was a better looking golf swing off the tee there, Angela. She's been just a bit sloppy at the top in her transition.
The way we're talking, this is where she usually turns it on. And I'm thinking that, she's thinking, I'm not 3 down right now. I'm only 1 down. I should be 3 down. And this is where I really turn it on. So I'm sure she took a little break at the turn. And you're right, Morgan. Those 2 swings were a lot better.
That's what I would have done in that situation as well, Angela, is made a few squirrely swings. I'm walking by the clubhouse. Let me go take a 2-minute break just to reset, get in the air conditioning for a moment.
Yeah. So now just left to the fairway and on a root Karn, 1 up.
It's actually a good lie in the rough. This rough is so spongy that she probably just wants to get her feet nicely settled in. 118 to the front. Trying to hit that front number. Hit that really high. I don't care how high you hit it, it's just not going to spin out of that rough.
Yeah, this will come back, though, a little.
All in all, coming out of that rough, that was a pretty solid effort. Now she's going to be below the hole, putting up the hill. Look at how fast that was from the back again. Similar to the 6th hole, what we saw.
And so Padri and Nadarukarn and Ayaka Furue each looking for a second LPGA title. It's a Nadarukarn by 1. Birdie putts here in the championship match. First to Nadarukarn.
Not much movement to this putt uphill.
Looks like she hit that a little bit on the bottom of the putter. Swung up a bit more than keeping the putter low through the stroke there.
You can download the LPGA app for iPhone, iPad, and Android today. Go to lpga.com/apps for more information. That 10th green again, and Ayaka Furue, who was 2 down through 8 this morning, won the 9th and this 10th, then again at 12 and beat Leona Maguire. A chance to tie it here, Angela.
Not much here. Maybe right center, right edge. Wow.
That's where she played it. Just stayed right there, Ange.
I'm telling you, there's just some subtleties out here, and I was going to say it again. I wasn't sure, but I really thought that should have moved a little bit left. And
the challenge of the golf course, but also again that cumulative effect of a 4th match in the last 30 hours, 7th match in 5 days, and both of these players, haven't had blowout victories. They've played 16, 17 holes usually each day, so it's been a lot of golf, and now on a Nadarukarn to stay 1 up.
And this is a putt at home with your friends you'd scoop up, but not on Championship Sunday on the back 9.
You had some generous friends down there, Kay.
Oh yeah, that's why I only play happy golf, Morgan.
2 short misses the last couple of holes. Not quite this short, but
she can't let that eat away at her confidence. Has to stay positive.
no problem.
Just even putting that putt could give her some confidence. Being forced to make a short putt like that, putting a good stroke on it and saying, okay, I know what it's like for the ball to go in the hole. I remember that I can do this.
Both players celebrating a birthday in the last few days or in the coming days. It's a good place to celebrate a birthday. No shortage of options. This is the 17th, and this gives us a taste of what, if this championship match makes it this far, we'll see here. Final 2 players, par 3.
Oh,
Terry McLaurin.
The bunker shot is one of the easiest shots in golf for most professionals, but most amateurs really struggle, and it's mostly related to setup. And they don't properly use the bounce of the club, and more use the leading edge, and it's just very inconsistent. As we
Case in point, yeah, 1 short, 1 long.
And the margin for error on the 17th hole is very, very small.
Again, they're playing team golf. Now, this is more like what we'll see at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. A team keeping score here.
And stroke play.
And stroke play, yes. It's Devontae Adams, number 17. He was hoping for a little better result as we take you to the tee at the 11th with an Honoroo card. Still in front, 1 up.
It's important to keep the honor. And I always like to be the one hitting first and be the one getting to the tee first and sort of setting the pace and setting the tone.
can be like Yolandi, probably Yolandi's around here.
Yeah. Should we just go right here?
You know, do the race?
Yeah, that's what I'm about. Where we normally hit to.
Yeah, 240. So 60 less. That means
200 short, 180.
Moved up again here for this championship match. It's par 4.
85.
Was last night the
5 irons,
quarterfinals.
Yeah, you feel good?
Morgan, what do you think about this play? Going conservative off this tee with an iron.
She's changing to a different iron. I don't love it.
I don't either.
But I'm also not feeling the wind as she is out there.
Yeah, it's quartering out of the right, hurting, but it seems like you may as well pound it down there as close as you can, because where that hole's perched on the very left-hand side, it's so shallow. I'd want to have just a little pitch instead of a full shot.
In watching all week, Kay, players from the fairway who from the back tee would have hit in the fairway or laid up here from the forward tee, they struggle to hit this front left side of the green anyway, so you might as well send it all the way up there. It's tough to hit regardless. And yes, that isn't a perfect position now, but there's, as you said, Kay, a very small target here on this green. And look at from in your monitor, in our monitor, we can see it's only 4 paces off the left, and everything slopes down and away about 30 yards off the green.
How about the colors too up there, showing you how firm and fast it is. Driver for Furue, Angela.
Yeah, and I think this will be in that front bunker. I feel like she, you know, when she missed it, she was in the mulch the other day and she got up and down. I just don't think she was aware of the wind, and this is on a much, much better line.
She just looks like she's struggling to get through the ball a little bit.
That's not where I thought that ball would end up.
to be able to, off the upslope, going to be able to use her flop, like cut technique that we've seen her use so well so far today.
Furue one down to the tie. Padre and Nana Rukarn. Today's coverage is brought to you by Bank of Hope. We are bankers, experts, neighbors. And by Wind Grips, the best grips in golf.
Yeah, right to the pin is better.
Furue over in the rough, just right of the fairway. You might be able to make out her ball over there. This is the second for Nana Rukarn.
59 yards to the hole. There's definitely a little more width or depth to the green to the right of the flag than if she goes directly at it. So I think she might bail a little right.
She laid up so close. She didn't lay back to a full shot. She laid up to a half, three-quarter shot, where you wouldn't be able to get as much spin.
Good job.
Not terrible. Yeah.
So Ayaka Furue with a second shot to come.
Yeah, she has 33 yards to this whole location, but she needs to fly at about 27. She's going to have to play it like a bunker shot. It's not a terrible lie, but the ball is below her feet.
Did she catch that drive solidly, Angela, do you think?
Oh, sorry.
It didn't.
Anytime.
I agree with Morgan. There's just not, it just doesn't seem like she's getting through it. There's just not a lot of pop to it. Now, the wind is blowing much harder than it has all day, and it could have just drifted up in the air, but I agree with Morgan. There's not the same pop on it as earlier in the day.
Is that the effect of just the weariness, fatigue?
Up in the face here, take a big full swing.
She's hit some really clever shots.
That was beautiful.
Will it come? Oh, goodness. It might stay. This was the site of one of her most clever shots of the week. It was late yesterday in the quarterfinals. She got a drop from a pipe and then hit this from the mulch. She was one down to Boutier. Morgan.
She got a fabulous drop. She got a lucky drop. She was able to drop away from the tree, but that doesn't take anything away from this shot that was still spectacular.
She was one down, and Boutier made birdie here at 11, so that kept her from going further down, and she would come back with a rally to beat Boutier, winning the 14th hole and then 16 and 17 to close her out. So Furue goes first here, I suppose, just by an inch or so.
Yeah, and this is unfortunate for her because she's going to give Padre the line. Obviously, you can see her ball. They're right beside each other. It's going to be quick. It may move a touch to her right.
First one in match play is very important, but Ayaka wasn't able to take advantage of that opportunity there.
No, Morgan, I'm sure she would have been delighted to show her the perfect line.
Yeah, that could put a ton of pressure on your opponent if you're able to be away but get it in the hole first.
Padre saw exactly what that does. It leaks right and has a good sense of the speed.
It's not been a great year for Padre so far this year. She has a tie for 18th at Wilshire. She's had one bad round in most of her events. She had a not great day on Friday, lost to Karis Davidson. But in this format that allows you to lose a match in group play potentially and advance to the weekend, she won a playoff to get to the weekend, and now she has this one-up lead and maybe a chance to go two up here. Let's see.
Yeah, this for her second birdie today. And for the third hole in a row to try to widen the lead. Actually, two out of 3 holes. Oh, that didn't come out solidly at all.
And it just bobbled out of that first cut, and that's the risk that you run. It's still the safer play 9 times out of 10 than chipping. Typically would chip it if you're looking to make it.
Maybe influenced seeing Furue's ball race past 4 or 5 feet. Well, we haven't seen Ayaka miss really anything, maybe one all week of this length. She's made so many, been so clutch, rallied a couple of times on the back 9. Unbeaten this week. Anana Rukarn lost, as we said, on Friday. And now this for par with Anana Rukarn still about 3 feet to come.
Yeah, she's probably relieved that she has a chance to make a good putt, get it in the hole, and move on, not lose that hole.
Is she saying maybe pick it up? I think she's going to tell her pick it up. Yeah. Players do rely on caddies sometimes, right? Just an extra sounding board to run decisions by, maybe.
I think it depends on how much experience you have in match play. If you're in question, maybe look over and say, what do you think?
Yeah. Match play here in Vegas. Big match play event coming up later this year. So as we gear up for the excitement in Spain, 2-time Solheim Cup captain and our colleague Judy Rankin recaps her U.S. victory on home soil in this countdown to the Solheim Cup.
98 was spectacular. Jack and Barbara Nicholas helped with so many things to make it very special for us at Muirfield Village. Julie had a very good week playing golf. It was a lot of fun. And I think when we finally sealed the deal, it wasn't relief as much as it was just really joy. I told Laura Davies, I said, she congratulated me out in some fairway. And I said, well, I'm really glad to win this, but I'm not glad for you to lose. It's that kind of feeling that is what you want to have. And sometimes some things happen where the feeling isn't quite that warm, but that was a particularly good week.
Yeah, there are some of those moments that are unfortunate, but that spirit, I think, pervades the Solheim Cup, doesn't it?
I had a smile on my face watching that entire feature right there. Just watching Julie dance. Well, just Judy said it, the joy. And I'm excited. I know Angela's excited.
Yeah, both of you assistant captains to Stacy. Julie did some dancing as well after winning a couple of Solheim Cups in Germany and Des Moines.
Doesn't take much to get Julie Inkster dancing.
Fair. That's fair. Anana Rukarn. Look at this tee shot with her top tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
Wind still helping left to right. Fairway slopes left to right. And that's a beauty. Dead down the middle.
Yeah, whole location on the right today. Gonna have a blind shot to this elevated green, but able to get something close with a short iron as that went a long way down there.
All right, Angela, let's see how this tee shot goes for Furue after what we saw at 11.
I mean, you keep thinking she's going to kind of, like I said earlier, I was talking about Leona, maybe like dig a little deeper and find something, knowing that she should be more than one down. Maybe she can draw from that and get some energy there, thinking that, hey, I'm only one down, let's go.
Yeah, got through that drive a little bit better there. Needs to dig deep and find something.
Each of these players is an LPGA winner. One of them will win a second title today. Mark Ingram as the wind picks up in the Players Challenge. Second shot at 18.
You're great, dude. Watch this.
Yeah, just over 100 yards of that wind gusting down, and pitch it down the right side and kick down into the middle of the green.
You wondered where Tom Abbott went. He's gone down to catch up with this match.
Good atmosphere out here, actually, Grant.
And our championship match is at the 12th, and Ayaka Furue with her second. She's one down.
She has 115 here. Really can take it online with it, even though you have to carry it about 7 more over there from the front, but fairly flat.
I'm not sure she loved it, but I think she's going to like the result, isn't she?
I mean, it looks good from here.
It's going to be a really quick putt. Left it above the hole, but she's just a little bit stuck coming into the ball.
It was a big drive from Anana Rukarn, wasn't it?
Wow, it was massive. She only has 58 to the front, 71 to the hole. I mean, she basically hit like a 300-yard drive. And
372 yards, Kay, this hole playing today.
yeah. She has to show a lot of discipline here to keep it below the hole. I'd say if she can keep it just right of the flag and below, it'll be an easy putt. Because even then, even though Ayaka's up there close, it's difficult.
Oh, this make wow, that's going to be conceded, I would imagine.
That was gorgeous. Really good tempo on that swing.
Beautiful shot. Way to take advantage of that incredible drive.
And the resilience after the short missed putts that could have put her way in front. She has a chance now to go 2 up. Let's get you up to 18 quickly. Mark Ingram.
Up the hill. He actually left that in a really good spot. He's not given it enough pace to get to the hole, but you know what? Come the championship match, the player might take that, that second shot with an uphill birdie putt.
This Players Challenge presented by MGM Resorts. It's a scramble, but keeping the stroke play score. This is Davante Adams, the Raiders great. So many great years with the Packers. 10th season coming up in the NFL.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit here. McLaren's second shot, I thought it was going to release onto the green, but it pitched just short of the green and stopped. So they had a long putt. But
how about that?
Good effort there, yeah.
Clutch on Sunday, as usual. Davante Adams. All right, so the putt's been conceded for Anana Rukarn. Now Ayaka Furue has this to remain 1 down.
Yeah, this almost feels like a huge turning point in this match. On one hand, if I'm Furue, I'm excited to have a really fast putt. On the other hand, if she misses and she's having a tough time, 2 down, going to 13. Yeah, that wasn't a normal putt that I've seen from her all day. So mentally, I think she's struggling a little bit.
In the championship match for a second consecutive year, came up just short to Eunhee Chi last year, and now 2 down to Pajari Anana Rukarn. Now 2 up on the tee at the par 3 13th, Pajari Anana Rukarn.
Has pushed this right.
Ooh, big opening right now for Ayaka. Is she going to be able to take advantage of this here?
We'll see where that one came to rest. Maybe that front bunker.
Grant, this is a 7-iron for Furue, and yes, Pajari's ball is in the front bunker. And I think Furue saw how much the wind moved her ball, so I would expect this to start on the left side of the screen.
One of the best golf swings we've seen from her on this back nine. What a shot.
Incredible. Top 5 on tour in par 3 scoring average, and she's going to make it 2 here at 13, right when she needed it.
I'm trying to rack my brain, but I'm pretty sure she did that to that front left hole location one of the other days. Was one of the only ones to get it close to this 13th hole.
Still a chance for Anana Rukarn perhaps to hole out, but what a shot from Ayaka Furue. Meanwhile, the Players' Challenge is complete, 9 holes. The running backs get it done. And for the presentation, send it down to Tom.
Well, thank you, Grant, here with our 4 NFL players raising a lot of money for charity, and also Maria Gatti, who is the Vice President of Philanthropy, Community Engagement for MGM Resorts, and also Dr. Kimberly Clay, who's the founder and CEO of Play Like a Girl, and that's the cause that is going to be receiving this big check. But Maria, I've got to ask you first, how important is it for you as an organization to support organizations like Play Like a Girl?
Well, we talk about gender equity at MGM Resorts, and this is actually doing what we say we plan to do, which is support girls, not in athletics only, but also in STEM education. So no one better to partner for this particular event than Dr. Clay and her organization.
Well, let's hand over the check, fellas. Move that check along here, and we're going to let Maria hand it over. There we go, 40 grand.
Congratulations. Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. Now, Mark and Austin, you guys were the winners by a sizable margin. How about Mark's game here? I was impressed by that.
No, this is the MVP for the day. I was here to support, but it was a team game today on the scramble, and we were able to chip our way and get it done.
Mark, you played a bit of golf as a youngster, right? You've still got it.
I played a lot as a youngster, so my middle school self would kill me right now on the course. So just trying to play more often, and we had a great team. Scramble going on. When I hit it out of bounds, he hit it straight. So just big thanks to MGM, big thanks to Play Like a Girl. The event was great. Everybody, the fans out here has been great. And even though we wasn't hitting some good shots, we were still here and clap. So we appreciate that.
And finally, how much of an appreciation did you get for the LPGA players and what they were able to do? Pujari Anana Rukarn this morning made 8 birdies out here in her round.
Yeah, it's incredible, especially with the greens. This is the first time I experienced greens like this. So yeah, shout out to them. It's definitely astonishing. I got a lot of work to do to even get close to even hitting a birdie. That's my goal right now. Can I even get one? So yeah, that was great.
Well, thanks to all 4 of you for being involved. I know you might watch a bit of that championship match as it concludes, and understand there's going to be a dinner tonight that the winner will be invited to down on the Strip as well. So thanks very much for being here, and also what a great organization it is, Play Like a Girl, and a big check heading their way. Grant?
All right, Tom, thank you, and thanks to all those guys. The respect that the players have for the players in the NFL and vice versa is I know significant. We get to see this at the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. LPGA players seeing stars from other sports.
Golf brings everybody together, and that's what's so special about this sport. No matter what you might be in, golf brings us all together.
So Anana Rukarn's got to make this, Kay?
Yes, she gave the birdie putt to Furue, and just taking one swing at it. Not going to happen on this hole. I think this was clearly Ayaka Furue's hole.
So Devontae Adams ought to see that shot from Pujari and say, okay, it happens even to the best of them. So Furue with a clutch birdie at 13, and her deficit is 1. With the honor for the first time since the 7th hole, Ayaka Furue.
She had a little pep to her step walking to this tee box and made much better contact off the tee.
That looked much more efficient in the transition. At the top, it looked like on 8 and 9, the club was kind of flailing around at the top and not really sharp at the top.
Drive On LPGA All Access has a new episode dropping tomorrow, taking you behind the scenes with Team USA and Team Australia at the Hanwha Life Plus International Crown. Go to the LPGA social media channels to check it out. And that winning team for Thailand did not include Pajariyannanarukarn, which tells you just how strong they were.
Good solid tee shot right there to match Furue's.
You'd have to think watching that gave her a little bit of inspiration.
She said that as much. I talked to her during the break today. She watched it and she wants to be on that team next time.
Ooh-wee.
All right. It's your birthday?
Hey.
Heisman Trophy winner keeps the wide receivers at arm's length. Mark Ingram and Austin Eckler win the Players' Challenge.
Yeah.
It's a one-up lead in the championship match of the Bank of Hope LPGA match play for Thailand's Pajariyannanarukarn, but Ayaka Furue has just won the 13th. Brilliant tee shot to concession range. And who's first here at 14?
Furue is going to play first. She is 193 from the hole. That front number is important. It's 178, but walking up here, I mean, the wind is really picking up. This is her 6th iron.
In which direction is the wind, Angela?
Into off the left. So this tells me she is going to start this at least at that little bit of rough on the left side of the green, kind of left of the tower.
There's plenty of slope on this green to work the ball towards the hole. This on an aggressive line.
Oh, is it ever?
Yeah, that didn't have a very good sound to it either.
This hole has been good to Pajariyannanarukarn. Last couple of matches. Birdies at this tough par 4.
Full shot. Let's say we wanted 5 or 10 on. Still coming from 10, right?
That's correct. Yeah, the green is perfect.
158 to the hole, 143 to the front. So it'll be interesting to see with the wind hurting if she's tempted to take this a little bit deeper into the green, but I'd have to think she's favoring the center of the green or well left of the flag, because the slope will take it back down to the flag. That was solidly struck. Trying to fade it a little bit. Oh, and it catches the slope.
Is it going to catch the backstop and get
Yeah.
better? Yeah.
It happened this morning.
This could be really good right here.
How about this 14th for Padre? It's going to be
3 birdies in a row.
a conceded birdie, I would imagine, and it will be her 3rd straight match to birdie one of the hardest holes out here.
Just tremendous and smart play. Just how Kate drew it up for her and able to use the backstop to get it really close. There are slopes around this golf course that you can use to your advantage if you know where they are. You don't want to end up on the wrong side of them. But this one is perfection right here.
And you think about the short missed putts for Padre in the middle of this round. She has clearly been the better player today in this championship match in terms of executing shots.
Well, she was nearly flawless this morning in the semifinal match, but I think back to her reaction after seeing her ball end up in a divot on the playoff after the 3rd day, and how she talked about, that's golf, it happens, it's nothing that I can control, and her body language was so positive that I was not surprised that she then went on to win the playoff and has continued that positive attitude and positive body language throughout this championship match, where Ayaka maybe has shown a little bit more frustration and a little bit more fatigue. in the way that she has moved or hit golf shots, where Padri has not. And that conceded right there.
Yeah, that was Friday afternoon. It was the third and final day of group play, and she had lost to Karis Davidson, and the two of them were tied. They had to have a playoff, and she hit that tee shot with the first cut of rough, settled into that deep divot hole and gouged it out. Two putted for par, advanced to the weekend, and hasn't looked back. And now Ayaka Furue must hold this to stay one down.
Ultimately around 25 yards, pretty straightforward. You know, yeah, I can tell by her reaction, just didn't like the way she hit that.
It's a tough chip to stand over and say, I have to make it just to tie the hole. Looking for a pitch mark, she can't find it because the greens are so firm.
She was a star amateur in Thailand, won 3 times on the Thai LPGA Tour as an amateur, came to the U.S., played the Epsom Tour, made it onto the LPGA Tour in 2019, and a winner a couple of years ago in Northern Ireland on the LPGA Tour. Some of the action from earlier today in this championship match, Morgan. This was to win the hole for Furue.
First to draw blood out here this afternoon, but Padri would answer on the next hole.
Nice up and down at that third to tie the match. And then after they tied the fourth, this was on a Rukarn at 5.
Good job there.
Backstop a little bit here to get it a touch closer, but well done.
And then after that par would win the 5th, this was Furue at the 6th.
Padri hit it way right off the tee and out of bounds. That was the worst shot that we've seen from Padri all day. She's been so solid.
But again, match play, you only lose the one hole. And then at the 7th, to within just a couple of feet, maybe 3 feet. And Furue would miss a shortish putt at the 7th. So 1 up. And then at the 12th, after a huge drive, her second. How many conceded birdies have we had in this match?
It's tough to beat conceded birdies.
Yeah. And then at 13, 2 down, and having hit a few shots that weren't her best, this was Furue. Nana Rukarn was in the front bunker.
And Ayaka hasn't had her best stuff this afternoon, but this shot says, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to fight till the end.
So it was a 1-up lead until this. Nana Rukarn's second at the 14th. Think about Ali Ewing when she won a couple of years ago. This 14th was instrumental in her going on to win.
Could it be the same for Padri here this week? 3 straight matches she has won this 14th hole with a birdie.
You could win 14 with a par or even a bogey. It's that tough of a hole. As we take you to the 15th, and Tom Abbott is back.
Just as we're coming down to the wire here, and the match could be decided in the next couple of holes. This one an important hole for both players, maybe more so for Ayaka Furue to fight her way back. Pajari on the tee, looks like the 3-wood K.
That's a smart play. This is a scary hole. You just have to hit a dead perfect drive, a supremely accurate second shot, and be creative and confident on the putting surface. You just can't afford any kind of missed shot on this hole. Wind helping strongly. And that right down the middle, and you can see this continued release and rollout, that at least 20-25 yards of rollout.
Firm and fast golf courses tend to be more difficult. That's the general rule. And Leona Maguire was saying earlier that This is one of the toughest golf courses the LPGA plays all year. So some of the shots we've seen over the last several holes really impressive. Now Ayaka.
Driver. And this is started down the middle. It's curving left.
Left is danger, and that needs to sit down. That looks like it's found the creek. So problems there for Ayaka Furue. The creek kind of meanders its way down the left side of this 15th hole and then across in front of the green. So we'll see where that ball finished when we come back. Shadows lengthening across the 15th green here at Shadow Creek in the final of the Bank of Hope LPGA match play presented by MGM Rewards. Pujari Ananarukan and Ayaka Furue battling it out, and it is Pujari leading the way, 2 up through 14. Furue down the left. How is it lying, Angela? Did it find the creek?
She's in the rough. She is trying to figure out her yardage. I would say if she had the Saginaw sling, she'd be in business.
That's your shot, the Saginaw sling, the big right to left low one.
It is. So she has a couple of different options. She does hit a draw. So this tree, I mean, it's going to have to be a pretty severe hook to get around this tree. I think she could do it. She'd need to hit it about 130 if she wanted to kind of on the line to kind of clear the creek, hooking it. Or she could play the safe shot out to the right and take a good angle in on her third shot. But she is 2 down, and this is match play.
She's walking to the right over there, Angela. I think she's looking to see where she wants to land it. It's not as much a distance issue as it's a tree issue.
Right, Norman. And she, again, if she is going to
No. I mean, the distance is fine, the 9. Yeah, it's just about getting the height of the tree, right?
If she's going to try to get this on the left side of this creek, she's going to have to move it pretty good right to left. She's taking a 9-iron, so she might be trying to go over this tree.
Ball looks like to be just slightly above her feet here. Not crazy.
Yes, just enough to help.
That's the best swing of the day right here.
It's the Kobe catapult there over the trees. Not the Saginaw sling. Oh, she's over.
Yeah, she didn't try to play the hook. She went with the shorter club that would give her enough loft to get it over those trees.
She's from Kobe, Japan. You gave me a strange look there when I said that.
Gonna go viral.
No, Pujari.
Excellent tee shot. Perfectly level lie and 150 yards to the hole. 133 to the front. Looking to land this probably no more than 140 on. You just want to keep it short of the hole. Really just kind of short right of the hole.
4 here could be good enough to win the hole, Kate.
It usually is.
Short. What happened there?
It looked like she lost acceleration on that swing. She just didn't have the normal zip through the shot, and it just came through with, not kind of clunky.
Yeah, mistake. Take a look at that golf swing again, see if you can see anything, Morgan.
It looked okay watching it in real time, but looks like a misjudge in club. Right away, her caddy yelled, "Go."
Well, the wind starting to whip out there when I was just out on the 18th. It was, as significant as it's been all day, so maybe that was in her mind.
As they make their way up to the 15th, we'll take a quick second to check in on the Epson Tour earlier today in Florida. Jiwon John won to move up to 6th. Money list, Gabby Ruffles already with a couple of victories. And we'll see her next year on the LPGA Tour. Vajrayanana Rukharn finished 18th on the money list. Got her into Q Series, where she got her LPGA card, now in her 5th season. Ayaka Furue, meanwhile, got to the LPGA Tour last year, Morgan. She was in the top 20 in the world ranking. She was part of that stellar rookie class that we talked about. Tai Titakun and Ayaka Furue and Anako Shibuno, and even Lynn Grant, who didn't play in the U.S. but kept her card. Now she played overseas.
When I watch Ayaka play, I forget how young she is.
Yeah, just turned 23 yesterday.
Because she has so much poise and so much composure that I forget. I really do. That she's only 23 years old. I saw her today on the range. I said, you didn't tell me it was your birthday yesterday. Not that anybody really walks around saying, hey, it's my birthday today, but I felt bad. I didn't know when I was talking to her yesterday.
A chance to escape here, Tom, after that errant tee shot.
Let's see how feel is for this shot.
And she just needs to make sure there's a ridge running through the screen from right to left. It's right in the middle. She needs to stay on the proper side, which she did. She just didn't hit it hard enough.
When you're 2 down in the match, you need to hit a better pitch than that in that moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's putting uphill with the par putt, which is a good thing, but Pujari has a chance here to guarantee a 4.
A little more straightforward chip shot, but the problem with this green and this hole is this whole green tilts from back right down to front left, but there's an opposing bank to the left of the screen that kind of counteracts that movement. So it's hard to really hone in on the break, but overall it's uphill. We'll see if she can get it. Well, she doesn't want to go by the hole, but get it closer to the hole.
Let's keep in mind how fast it was from above the hole. When we saw the NFL players, couldn't believe how far by their putts went from beyond the hole. Maybe a reason why both of these players were a little tentative on these pitch shots.
Well, that's really disappointing based on where Pajari's drive was and what iron she had in her hand. She should be, you know, in the middle front part of the screen putting for birdie, and now struggling to make par.
And it just came out fluffy out of that lie. Played a bit of a higher shot as opposed to a lower bump and run.
Mental exhaustion plays a big part as well. I mean, these players, they're so good physically, but it's the thinking around the golf course and the concentration that makes such a difference at this level. And when you've been playing for 5 days in this kind of heat, 36 holes the last 2 days, you know, talking close to 115 holes of golf here for these two, it's it takes its toll, and maybe that was the difference there. Furue now for par.
It is blowing right now. You can see the flag moving. This putt is uphill. It may try to sneak right on her, right around the hole, but she just needs to make sure she hits it, because it's all uphill. Don't leave it short at this point.
To your point, Tom, I think about the times that every time after a major championship, I would be mentally exhausted more than physically. And so many players have talked about this being a major championship golf course that's mentally demanding. Plus you add the 2 extra rounds of golf, 3 extra rounds, because the Wednesday start. It's just a long, grueling week if you make it to this point.
And the heat.
It's very hard to keep a really high level of play the entire time. You're just naturally going to go through some some dips and valleys, but you hope those dips and valleys don't last very long. And often we see the final match to a championship week be a little flat because so much emotion has been poured out. But that said, you know, they've made 5 birdies between them so far today. There have been some excellent shots. So Patrick got a good read off of this. Uphill may not move as much to the right as Furue's did.
3 up with 3 to play.
Giving it a
She
go.
hit it with plenty of speed, and that's the risk. If you miss the hole, you have the downhill comebacker.
Yeah, this one above the hole, and anything above the hole on this green, very, very quick.
Tom, it was as if she just was focused so hard on making sure she got it there. Maybe she really loved the line and she was so confident, and then boom, 3 feet by.
Looked like a really good stroke and putt. I mean, I think you have a good point there, Kay. I mean, she probably felt like she had the line, and boom, hit it on that line with a bit of commitment, and in it goes. It just didn't go in.
And these are energy sappers. I mean, you look, if she hit it up there to concession point, they'd be walking to the next tee, but now she's got to go through this whole routine, all the self-talk, trying to stay relaxed, stick with her routine. All that takes energy.
Yeah, well done. So the hole is halved in bogey. Pajaria disappointed, I think, with the way that she drove the ball there. Yeah, Furue was in trouble down the left side. Fortunate to be not in the penalty area. So Furue is going to feel like she got away with one there, and they'll go to the 16th. Japanese player needs to fight her way back into this match soon.
Take a look at the 2 past champions of this event. Ali Ewing defeated Sophia Popov, and then the 36th seed, which is what Patrick Nanarukon is this year. Eun-hee Ji outlasted Ayaka Furue.
I was just having that thought watching Padri putt on the last hole, thinking the 36th seed, not qualified yet for the U.S. Open, having to get through to the weekend in a playoff on Friday afternoon. A lot of those things line up to last year's champion, Eun-hee Ji.
Eun-hee pulled a rabbit out of her hat in 17 and 18 in group play on Friday to get a tie that moved her in to the weekend, and then she went on to win it. So 2 up with 3 to play for Anana Rukarn, but we have seen plenty of times this week players flip around a late deficit to at least get a tie. And if they do finish tied, they will go to the 10th hole to play it off.
And walking to this tee, I'm sure that she was having some self-talk and coaching to herself, like, okay, let it go. I should have won that hole, but I didn't. Made a little mistake. Acknowledge it, and then boom, it's gone. Focus now on this tee shot.
You could flip it around, Kay, couldn't you, and say, I just ticked off another hole that I didn't lose, and I'm a step closer. That's one way of looking at it.
You do whatever you can to keep your confidence high and keep your belief going 100%. This hole, this tee shot playing back into the wind, that's also slightly crossing right to left.
3-shot hole, just need to put a few more good swings here, and she could win the championship right here on the 16th green.
That's a beautiful swing. We talked about her working with Cloud Harmon. She started working with him in 2019. They only see each other a couple times a year at the most.
Could be a second straight week for Harmon to have one of his pupils win a big event. Brooks Koepka, PGA Championship winner last week. And except for the tee shot at 6, Padraig has really driven the ball well. Even at 10, she went through the fairway, but it was a really good strike. And now Ayaka Budaway, Angela, she won 16 and 17 late yesterday in her second match of the day against Boudier to win. She needs something like that here.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta think she's drawing from that right now and thinking, I know how to play these two holes. I haven't seen 18 yet, but I definitely know how to play these. And if I can just get to 18.
Well, she hopes she sees 18 for the first time now, because she is 2 down with 3 to play. That didn't look like a confident swing, did it?
Just one-handed finish. She didn't like it. She's just out of sorts with her golf swing this
Maybe out of gas and easy to understand. To burst like these fountains at the Bellagio. This championship match could end right here at the par 5 16th, and it did last year when Eunhee outlasted Ayaka Budaway. It is a 2-up lead for the 23-year-old from Thailand, Padraig Anatarakarn. Each has hit the fairway at this par 5. And Budaway will be first to play. Unreachable in 2.
She has 317 yards. I mean, all week she's played just to lay up, and she's done it perfectly. I wouldn't expect anything different here.
We'll launch this second shot with our top tracer technology, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Fortunate kick back into the fairway. That's going to make a huge difference, as we've seen all week. If she, I feel like she does need to win this hole and needs to get that wedge shot close. It's going to be a lot easier to do from the fairway.
Now Anatarakarn with her second.
This layup becomes so much easier when you're further down the fairway. You have a multitude of clubs that you could choose to play, and you don't have to worry at all about clearing the bunker. She's looking to just ensure she gets this to the center left side of the fairway. That rough really comes in quickly on the right. This going to the right a little. That avoids the rough. I think the wind held it, kept it away from the right rough.
Anatarakarn closing in on a huge victory. 2 up and a third shot here for Padraig Anatarakarn, a chance to maybe get one in close and put the pressure on.
Nice number to have, 102 yards, and right at the moment it feels like the wind has died down, but I still see the tops of the trees moving. It's just we're down at a little low area beneath the trees. Her tempo is so good right now, Morgan.
Just beautiful tempo with that wedge, and left it below the hole. Did everything that she needed to do in her position. 2 up in this match. Very much in control.
Again, if Anatarakarn wins the hole, the match is over and the championship is over. Budaway conjured up a beauty at 13. Angela needs something like that here.
She has 89 yards. And she needs to be careful. She needs to go right at it or a little right of it. There's a slope left of this that will trickle off the green.
Oh, she tried to get a little bit of help off that backstop. It's still makeable. She needs to make it.
That could have come back.
She doesn't necessarily need to make it, but I feel like she needs to make it if she wants to win this match.
Realistically, yeah. We got Ayaka Furue, who is top 20 in the world, ranks 18th. Got that victory, the Sunday 62 to win in Scotland last summer. Talked about what this event meant to her. She hadn't had a lot of high finishes coming into this event in her rookie season last year. Finished second to Eunhee Ji. As for Anana Rukarn, won a playoff in Northern Ireland 2 years ago, outlasted Emma Talley. Had to win a playoff on Friday to emerge from group play. We talked about it this morning. But because of this format that allows you over the course of 3 days to tie or lose a match and still advance to the weekend, I go back to the Dell Technologies match play on the PGA Tour. 4 of the last 5 winners of that event lost or tied a match in group play. 2 years ago, Ali Ewing lost her first match, went on to make it to the weekend and won. Eunhee Ji tied a match that got her into the weekend. She went on to win. Anana Rukarn endured that loss to Karis Davidson on Friday, beat Davidson in a 1-hole playoff, and now I believe it is Anana Rukarn to go first here, Kay?
Yes, it is. It was a rules official came over. It was pretty close, but Pajari.
I'm not sure Mikey Scott believes it. Have they measured it?
I think he eyeballed it. Yeah, it does look like he was a little uncertain of that, but this is a 15-footer.
You'd want to go first if you were Furue, would you, Morgan? Okay.
You always want to go first, don't you, Morgan?
I would want to go first either way, no matter whether I was Ayaka or Pajari.
This to put the pressure on.
Well, I'm not sure where she tapped that in.
Maybe just a little brain fog
Reflex,
there.
yeah, maybe.
And if Ayaka said that's good, then it doesn't really matter.
You're allowed to finish.
Yeah.
Angela, in terms of two-putting this, she has to two-putt it, no more than 2 putts to stay in this match. In terms of making it and then two-putting, what would you say about this putt for Ayaka?
Well, I think she needs to be careful. You know, I mentioned how it could trickle off this side of the green. She is putting back up the hill, but as soon as it gets to the hole, it could run away from her a little bit. So I know she's trying to make it, but it's not a putt that you can be super aggressive with. It's also going to move left to right on her. So, and then coming out of this first little bit of rough, I think you have to be careful.
And there you see, Angela, just as you called it, got to be a little bit worried about it going too far past the hole. And now this is to extend the match.
Such an interesting position because you feel like, as you said, realistically you need to win the hole here, but you can't give the match away either. And now this to stay in it.
think I hit that putt when I was here and I played, and I remember I hit it because I thought it was just uphill, and I didn't realize that once I got past the hole, it was going to run away from me. So I do remember that putt.
This is where her championship hopes ended last year to Eun-hee Ji. Now Padriana Rukon watches to see if she's a winner. She's been so steady all week with the putter.
And it's never over until you shake hands. So there's still a chance. There is more golf yet to play for Ayaka. And as we've seen, anything can happen on 17 and on 18 around this golf course.
She's got to win both holes. Today's coverage is brought to you by Bank of Hope. We are bankers, experts, neighbors. And by Volunteers of America, helping those who need it most for over 125 years.
This is the 17th hole, and a treacherous par 3. Short, not long hole. Plays about 130, 135 yards, depending on where they put the hole.
Tom, right now it looks like the flag is trying to blow a little bit left to right, indicating some left to right wind that's also helping, and that'll help players try to keep that ball up on that upper right hand side of the screen.
Yeah, 134 for this final. But you know, the difficulty with that right hole location, as we've seen, Kay, is keeping the ball on the top level. You can see Jesus Motho there on the bag. His sister was a LPGA player for a number of years, Belen.
And a pretty good match player as well.
She married a tennis player, I believe, and didn't they have a child recently? Lives down in Colombia.
You are correct. So 127 to the front, 134 to the hole, and this plays 7 yards down. The players were a little confused this morning because that wind was not there helping the shot, and everyone seemed to come up short of the green. But that wind is with us, and it's helping and trying to blow a little left to right.
It's only going to add to the difficulty here, Kay, of trying to hold this green.
Boy, nothing like throwing everything at you to try to close this thing out. And Padriana has pulled 2 clubs, so she's a little in between, probably maybe a wedge and a 9 or a wedge and a gap. I think she hit wedge this morning, and that was the club that came up a little short. The wind just feels like it's swirling, and that can make you a little uncertain. She's just got to step into this and be committed.
Big shot here could put this match to bed with a good one.
That was lovely.
What a shot.
That was spectacular and exactly what she needed in this moment. I can't believe how softly. Yeah. Thank you, club. Thank you for landing so softly on this green. Has a great reaction.
Now Furue.
This is a 50-degree wedge, and you just got to go right at it. You know exactly what you have to do at this point.
No, that's not the shot. And it's going to be so difficult now, although she's going to be playing to the left as you look at it. So I think she's going to need to hole it. We'll see when we come back. Well, seemingly this has to go in for Ayaka Furue.
Good news is she has a good lie, kind of back into the wind.
Giving it a good go. It almost drops. What a shot. Oh, I mean,
Wow. Caught a
if
little
that
bit
had
of the
been,
hole.
yeah, if that had been like an inch to the right, it could have just hit the flag and gone right in.
That it?
And that is it. It's conceded, and Pajari Ananarukan conquers this marathon week at Shadow Creek, the Bank of Hope LPGA match play champion, and fully deserving with the way that she's played today, especially.
Just wonderful performance, even back to the semifinal match. 8 birdies and really solid golf out here this afternoon. With the fatigue setting in, with the tough conditions, the wind picking up, and a very tough opponent in Ayaka Furue.
Let's take a look at how close that bunker shot was to going in from another angle. Yeah, I mean, she played it so well. It caught a lot of the hole. Full credit to Ayaka Furue, trying all the way to the end. Yeah, wonderful shot. But it wasn't quite good enough. And yeah, we had this angle, didn't we? I mean, it just needed like about an inch to the right, and it would have hit the flag, and it could have dropped. It had a bit of pace to it, but not a huge amount.
No.
So, we're looking forward to hearing from both of the finalists. But we're going to take a quick break and head back to Shadow Creek, where Pajari Ananarukan can begin her celebrations. She's a winner again on the LPGA Tour.
Back here in Vegas, update the race to the Simi Globe points won. 500 for the winner, Pajari Ananarukan. There was no consolation match this year, so Lynn Grant, Leona Maguire split the 205 points. Ayaka Furue 320 for that second place finish. Let's send it down to Angela Stanford.
Thanks, Grant. I'm here with Ayaka Furue, and first off, congratulations on making it to the final again.
今回これ決勝まで来ました。とてもおめでとうございますということです。
I guess I want to know, so you played amazing. You beat a lot of great players this week. What do you take with you the rest of the year, giving you confidence to keep going and playing well this year?
たくさんの選手を任してきて、で今回もいい、プレーができたと思うんですけれども、その中で、この、自信を持ってた今回の決勝進出で自信を持ってたと思うんですけれども、この次の次のゲームでどのようなプレーをできると思いますか？
マッチプレーとストロークプレーでは少し違うメンタリティだと思うんですけど、でも自信を持っていくっていうショットパットはすごいいい経験になってると思うので、また今後にそこは生かしていきたいなと思います。
Yeah, it's different from like playing match play and solo play. So, but in the match play, I could gain more confidence about my play. So that would be my kind of today's or this week's gain that I got. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and we're going to send it over to Kay.
Thank you very much, Angela. I'm here with a delighted Pajari Ananarukan. Congratulations on winning your second LPGA Tour event, but the first time in the United States. Your first one came in Northern Ireland. What does this moment mean to you? It was such a long, grueling, hard-fought week to win.
Yeah, definitely a different feeling compared to the stroke play. Match play is definitely taking a lot of energy out throughout the week. And I mean, I'm really soaking in right now. I just couldn't think of anything but really grateful for everything that happened after this past few, probably last year or past few months. And this is the first time that I, was actually traveling without my dad. I really miss him though. I hope he's watching. But it's a great week, and I'm really grateful for everything.
Did you ever doubt yourself that you would win again?
Yes, there's time, definitely. When I won my Northern Ireland, I continued playing some great golf until 2022, early of the year, and then it started going down. And I feel like I'm trying to figure out golf. It's just sometimes it's hard to just, come back up. And then I just, try to every possible way just to improve on my game and just keep believing. And I'm lucky that I have everyone around me that help me and support me along the way, just, since day one. So I'm really grateful for that.
You played 116 holes. I believe 34 of them today. And this morning you had 8 birdies in 14 holes, a little more challenging this afternoon. Describe the difference between this morning and this afternoon's championship match.
The wind definitely picked up a lot, and I think I used all of my birdies and all of my focus just first 18. So I really try hard to focus on myself. I missed a couple putts, and I even shanked off the bunker. It's golf, and I really tried. So I'm glad I was able to play some good, decent enough.
You played better than anyone else, and you are the champion of the Bank of Hope match play. Congratulations on win number 2. It was a delight to watch you play. Grant?
Okay, thank you, Morgan. You heard what she had to say. The last year and a half, maybe encapsulated in these 5 days here in Las Vegas. It's a grind.
Tremendous perseverance from Padraig to get back into the winner's circle, to make it through so many tough matches this week. She made 12 birdies today in 34 holes.
Incredible.
That is tough to beat.
And we saw her in a tough spot in that divot hole on Friday afternoon. Had to win a playoff just to get to the weekend, and now she's a winner. We've got Golf Central coming your way next. News, highlights, and analysis from around the world of golf, and the Mizuho Americas Open from Liberty National in Jersey. First round coverage 11 o'clock Eastern Time Thursday. We'll see you then on Golf Channel and Peacock. Thanks to our producer Rob Sharp, director Pete Esposito, Glenn Mark. Great job with his team getting us ready for the broadcast today. For Morgan Pressel, Tom Abbott, Kay Cockrell, Angela Stanford, and the entire team, I'm Grant Boone. She dug deep and dug it out over 5 days. Padraig Ananarukarn is the winner. The Bank of Hope LPGA match play, her second LPGA title.